Oh, dang it. Forgot to put the steam line in. God. Hey y'all, my name is Nick and welcome back to State of Woods Co. And those screws are still hot. In this video, we're gonna get a little steamy in the shop today. I'm not gonna lie. I've built this 64-inch long steam box. I have a project this week that requires some bent lamination. And so there's no better way to do bent lamination than with a quick and easy steam box. So let's get hot and bothered. No, that's stupid. Let's get steamy? No. So let's crank up the heat in here and go ahead and get to burning. No, I don't wanna burn it. I just wanna bend it. So let's turn up the heat real quick. And no, I don't wanna do that. I need the AC on. It's hot in here already. This box ain't even on yet. All right, so before all the water evaporates, let's go ahead and get this thing going. No, I'm wasting so much time on this intro. This is ridiculous. Before this video goes up in smoke, I don't know, that's stupid too. So before your patience goes up in smoke, let's go ahead and get building the box, okay?
Well, first off, what is the purpose of steam bending? Steam bending allows you to soften the fibers of the wood, which will allow the wood to become more pliable and bendable. When those fibers are not softened by moisture or steam, we sort of all know what happens. When thinking about building this steam box, I knew that I wanted to go with a really water resistant or rot resistant wood. So I went down to my local sawmill and picked up some rough sawn cypress. Now, any wood will really do for this as long as it's clean without a lot of knots and holes and bug holes in it. You want to make sure that you contain the steam that's inside the box, but yet for me, I wanted to make sure that the box withstood the heat and the steam over time, so cypress has a great water resistant property. I went ahead and cut all the lumber to final length of 64 inches for my box at the miter saw. I did take it over to the drum sander just to pass it through a couple times to make sure everything was fairly flat and just clean it up just a hair. I ran each board through the joiner one time and then the table saw to clean up all the edges, so I did have square stock to work with. I want to have the ability to stack wood in the box, but yet still have the steam flow all the way around it evenly. So the shelving for inside the box is basically just dowel rods that are placed inside of it to allow that steam to continually move through the box. And to keep the wood off of the bottom of the box, we went ahead and put 2 different layers of dowel rods. And Landon was given the hard part of this whole project, which was just doing the math to figure out the evenly spaced dowel rods inside the box. Ha ha! Once Landon figured out all the measurements, it was just as easy as marking it and getting ready to drill it. Now let me show you what I mean about the steam flow all the way around your piece evenly. Now we don't ever want wood to be sitting flat down on a surface that doesn't allow steam to get underneath it. We want that good flow of steam all the way around all 4 sides of your piece. We're going to space the dowels to where there's a ledge on the top and a ledge in the middle, but a little bit of an area underneath to allow for that steam to come under. Now this can be specifically created for your pieces that you're going to be steam bending, so keep that in mind when you're building this project. Nothing has to be exact. As long as we mark everything the correct way and do it uniformly down the piece of the lumber, all the dowel rods will be at the same height and those shelves will be created. Landon used a Forstner bit to drill all the holes for the dowel rods. Now this is the only part of the project that needs to be slightly accurate so that based on your measurements, all your pieces of wood can lay flat. Assembling the box is the easiest part of the project by just pre-drilling and using wood screws. Just screw together 2 sides because we're going to flip this and then insert all the dowel rods. Now this step here was a little bit of a challenge, but 2 people helped a whole lot, and then the more clamps you have the better. So you basically set it up to where the dowels start going into each respective hole across the other piece, and you start clamping them in together so that everything comes in tight. Now you don't use any glue or epoxy with this. That steam's going to cause the wood to expand and contract over and over and over, so there's no point in having that glue. It's just going to rip it right out. So with the second side of the box held in place with clamps, you can go ahead and screw it from the bottom, and then we'll flip this thing over and start putting the top on it. The dowel rods like to put pressure on those 2 side pieces and keep them separated, so I just use clamps to hold everything together while I screw it all in place. We cut the legs out of some scraps left over and pocket hold them into the bottom. The front of the box needs to be elevated just slightly because in the rear of the box we drilled in a hole that allowed for water drainage. We used a PEX water pipe threaded fitting to attach the steam hose to the box. We drilled a hole just slightly smaller than the fitting and then hammered it in with a mallet. We put it fairly low in the back panel because steam rises, so we wanted it low. The hole for the water drain is just underneath that fitting on the bottom of the box. A simple lock and some weather stripping help to keep the door closed and allow that steam to stay inside. You will have some gaps, but that's a good thing. Our steam generator is a Wagner wallpaper steamer that we picked up off of Amazon. There's a link in the description below. And while we're literally waiting for water to boil, why don't you go ahead and hit like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos. And just like that, it's a wrap. You have a functioning steam box in just a couple of hours. Now remember that steam and heat and moisture is going to cause that wood to expand and contract over time. So this box may warp and twist a little bit and change shape and change color, but it's still going to function the same way. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit like and subscribe down below. Hit that notification button because in this next video, we're going to be using the steam box to make a fly fishing net. See you then.